Hello all, have a nice day. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the ITIL terms incident problem change, or we call it as the IPC, and we talk it about the relationship of the incident problem and change, that how they are related to each other. And according to me, as per my experience, I say that these three are the base of any industry. We have incidents, we have problem, we have change, and all other stuff move around in these three processes. I'm calling this as a process as per the ITL V3 2011, but as per the ITL V4 it is called the practices. These called the practices. Basically these are not the processes any longer, they are called the practices. So let's start with the ITL, incident problem change, IPC relationship. So first we see that what is an incident. Before I go to the definition as per the ITIL or the terms we use in the industry, let me take a normal example, and which by this example I'll try that give the complete picture of incident, problem and change, because this is a question generally asked into the interviews, that what is the meaning of the incident, how incident, problem and change is interrelated, and how they work all together in the same manner. So let's take example. Suppose I am traveling from my home to my office on the day one, and suddenly my bike giving me some issues. I go to the mechanic and he fix it. Again, second day when I going to office, again my bike gave some issues, some engine problem or some sound is coming, unexpected sound is coming. I go to the mechanic and he fix it. Day three again when I go and I have the same issue, go to the mechanic, he again fix it. Day 4, when I go to the mechanic, I'll not say, boss, there is some issue. I'll say, boss, there is some problem in my bike, that every day when I travel some kilometers, it's giving me unexpected sound. It's behaving like it's stopping in between somewhere. So now you can see that I use the term from issue to the problem. Then he do the deep analysis and say, sir, your bike has a problem and you need to be replace this gear system. Only then it will be work. Replacement, you have to be change the gear system, then it will work properly. So guys, from this example, I'll take this example in the going forward and show you that how this incident, change and problem work together or the interrelated. I now pick up the definition of incident: an unplanned interruption to an IT service or reduction in the quality of an IT service, or a failure of a configuration item that has no yet impacted on an IT service. For example, failure of one disk from a mirror set. So let's take this term, an incident. I'll take the pen here. Interruption. Let me take a pen here. An uninterrupted interruption, and sorry, an unplanned interruption of an IT service or reduction into the quality of an IT service. Now take like example that you are using office internet, and suddenly that internet is not working. It means there's a that is not a plan. That is not a plan. You did not get any notification earlier. That is called the unplanned interruption of that IT service or reduction in the quality of IT service. It means that you are expected to get 8 or 10 Mbps or 40 Mbps speed, but you are getting just 20 or 10 Mbps speed. That is the quality of the IT service. Or failure of a configuration item that has not yet impacted. Let's take example that a normal example say that if I talk about specifically on the technical terms or the data center perspective, that we have the backup as well, right? We have the multiple disk which is be used to copy the data, but one disk is not working. That is the that is not yet impacted to complete my configuration item. I'll pick up this term configuration item in the next slide. That would is the meaning of the configuration item, which is not yet impacted to my IT service, but it is still a issue. It can be a potential incident for me. So in a short form, I can say, in a summary, I can say that whenever I say that there's a interruption in IT service which is unplanned, number one, unplanned interruption number two, or reduction into the quality of a service, again, quality of a service, or a configuration item that has not yet impacted but can impact in future, maybe in some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, can impact, it's become an incident for me. The first goal of the incident management process is to restore the normal service operation. So as soon as quick as possible. So now I'll take example of the bike one. When I go to the mechanic, I say, boss, let's please fix it immediately. It means that I want to reach to home and my bike should working as expected so that I can reach to my office as a normal service operation to minimize the impact of a business operation. It means if my bike is the mechanic is taking a long time to fix that issue, it means I need to be wait little more at the mechanic shop, and I'll be late to my office, my meetings as well. Thus ensure that best possible level of service quality and availability are maintained. It means that the incident management is basically to be make sure that that incident the process should be able to provide a quality and availability, so that at least I can say, okay, 99.99% my services will be available. So in this, I'll take another example here, that suppose when I'm buying an internet connection for my home, I asked to my service provider, boss, what is the downtime for your internet services? He said that my services are available 99%. It means he is keeping it like a availability is 99%. If some interruption from the previous or some other system, it may impact. And as soon as your internet is not working, you raise a complaint to that person, boss, my internet is not working. He said, sorry, let me check. That is an unplanned interruption. But sometimes we got a message from our banks that our systems are upgrading from this time to this time. It means they already informed you that there will be interruption for the services, or there will be reduction in the quality of the services. But during that time, you cannot be use my service in a best manner as expected. You are using the previously. So this is the meaning of the incident. Now the term come problem. If I normally say that everyone say that there's a lot of problems in my life, why they're saying? Because when they are getting the same kind of issues again and again, I'll prefer to be word, not I'll say the same type, I'll say the symptoms, similar symptoms issue, it become a problem. One, when the coronavirus is just in one city in China and one or two people are getting these are the incident, but now it is all over the world, so it's become a problem that every person is I'm seeing the symptoms of that sort of thing, so it is becoming a problem for me. So I'll come to the IT terms here. A problem is a condition. Let me take the pen or the highlighter this time. A problem is a condition often identified as a result of multiple incidents that exhibits the common symptoms. It means the one thing which definition say that when I say the problem is, it's a common symptom. So every day my bike after 4 kilometer giving me unexpected sound, it means every day I'm getting the common symptoms. I start, even though I go to market or somewhere, as soon as I start my bike, it takes 3 to 4 kilometers, it giving me the unexpected sound. It is a common symptoms I'm absorbing for the last 4 days. A problem is the unknown underlying cause of one or more incident. Yes, sometime I can say a problem is basically where you don't know the exact cause of these things, underlying cause of that particular incident. It can be one incident, it can be one or more incidents. So here if I take example that I don't know that my why my bike is giving this issue. Day one I think okay, but every day when I'm getting the same symptoms, it is, for me it is a unknown, the cause is unknown. And the term called the known error is a problem that is successfully diagnosed and for which either a workaround or permanent solution is available. So in this I'll say in India we have called the term called jugaad. or the workaround. Suppose if I say, let's take example that my mechanic says, sir, please replace the front tire of your bike. I say, don't replace, let's put it some old one which you have, and I'll pay you accordingly. I'm not able to put it the new tire now, you just put it there. Or workarounds are, use or don't put much pressure on the front tire, just sit little behind so that the more pressure will be on the back end tire, rear tire, not on the front tire. That is called the workaround. And known as basically when you know that this is error and I have a solution for this thing only. Let's take example. Let's take a normal example that whenever my internet is not working, I think that it is a bandwidth utilization or maybe some other problem. So I always start my router again and again, or first time I start my router. That is the best workaround that I have. Or maybe I can reach out to my service provider boss every day I'm facing this issue. Can you do something fix? He says, sir, please replace your router. Your router is not support. Your router is not that much supporting our bandwidth which I'm using at point of time. So he give me the either permanent solution or a workaround that I have is restart my router every day or every time when I face the issue. Problem management aims to resolve the root cause of incident and thus to minimize the adverse impact of the incident. It means they always work to minimize the impact of the incidents. That's the reason nowadays we have a corona problem in our country, in across the world, and everybody is be doing that. Please maintain the social distancing. Sorry, everybody is saying please maintain the social distancing, and our researchers are working on the root cause of that. That how this has been happened, and they are researching on the medicine of that part as well. So that is the permanent solution they are working at point of time. But the workaround is that please stay at home, maintain social distancing. Don't go outside of your home if it is not that much urgent. That is the example of the normal things caused by the errors within the IT infrastructure and to prevent a reoccurrence of that incident. So it means the coronavirus should not be spread more and in the more and more people. So better to be stay at home. Do follow the social distancing, stay at home, work from home, all these things you have to do so that it should not be reoccur again and again. It should not case the more cases for again and again. Problems can also be identified from a single significant incident. Yes. On the first or second case, we identified that when the coronavirus started transmitting from one person to the person, we identified this thing that it is be like this, or inductive of single error. So India is learned this thing from China, US, and other countries that people are suffering from this. Let's start the lockdown in our country little early. So they have the learn from that part for which the cause is unknown. Till the time they don't know that how the coronavirus impact or how the coronavirus spreading, they just start the lockdown and social distancing principle. And the last known error is a condition identified by successful diagnosis of the root cause of a problem and subsequent development of a workaround. So now we have a known error that yes, coronavirus is spreading, and the what is the workaround or the what is the workaround? Social distancing. That is the one thing. Identify successful diagnosis by the learning from the other countries, by the learning of the other things. Our researchers came on the solution that please maintain the social distancing. That is the only way to out from the coronavirus. So this is the definition of the problem. The same way we check into work into the IT industry. Now the words come change. Change say that any addition, modification, or removal of a CI. So I'll come to the last term now. I'll just put the again pointer here. So configuration item, I'll start this thing. Configuration item CI is the base of these three processes or the practices as per the ITIL v4. So it says that any service component, infrastructure element, or other item that need to be managed in order to ensure the successful delivery of services. So now I take a normal example that I go office by using my bike. So that is a CI for me. My bike is a CI for me because that is helping me to deliver my services to my company. So now I'll take it from that technical term. Any service component, it means like your email services, your printers, your desktops, your laptops, even your software licenses. infrastructure element, your racks, your CDs, your DVDs, your tapes, these things, or any other item that need to be managed in order to successful delivery of a service. Even sometimes we call documents as a CI as well. But sometimes it again depends from the customer to customer, company to company, that how they what items they want to put as a CI. Here we do use a thumb rule is that every CI is an asset for you. Every CI is an asset for you. I'll not go in the deep dive of the asset and CI. What is the difference? That is a different topic. We'll take it some other day. So now I say that any change, addition, or modification, the removal of a CI is a change. A change is an event that results in a new status of one or more configuration item which is approved by management, a cost effective and enhance the business process change, that is a fix. So now if I say that Microsoft Zoom is building new feature day by day, and they're launching these features for everyone into the world who is using the Zoom, it means for them the CI is Microsoft, sorry, Zoom is the CI for them. And when they're launching this for everyone into the world, it means for every customer, every stakeholder, it means their management has been approved the feature, it is cost effective, and it enhances the business processes changes now. So now with the light version of the Zoom, you can interact with the with your clients or the colleagues on the day-to-day basis, and all with a minimum risk of the infrastructure. By implementing this feature, it has a very minimum impact on the infrastructure. So business has a two main expectations basically in the IT service provided. One, the service should be stable and reliable and predictable. It means the if I'm saying that I'm a service provider and I'm providing internet services to my customers. So for me, the reason the two expectations that I should provide a stable, reliable services. Service should able to change rapidly meet involving business requirements. So today if I have the lease of the 50 Mbps, tomorrow if my customers are saying that they need more bandwidth, so I need to be change that part as per the business requirement. Maybe tomorrow I'm giving my service to the big office instead of the society members. I'm giving the big offices, so I need to be change that part. And the objective of the change management is to enable IT service management to meet both expectations. These two expectations they have to meet to enable rapid change while minimizing the possibility of disruption to the services. So if you see that nowadays every app is coming on the updates day by day, or maybe after 1 week, 2 weeks, they're putting something new in their app. It means they are rapidly changing while minimizing the possibility of disruption. Even we are not able to know that what has been changed, and is any my app is not working, but I got a new features on the app. The last one, that is a change management aims to ensure the standardized methods and procedures are used to efficient handling of all changes. It means there should be a defined process that how a change will be go into the production from the lower environment. In the next videos, in the 1 or 2 videos, I'm be coming with the change management as well, that what are the change, how the change management has been worked basically, and the process and procedure involved. So in short, I can say that change management aims to ensure the standardized methods and procedure are used to efficient handling of the all changes. If I take a normal example here, so if I say that if I want to learn, if I want my child kid to be learn more things, so I make a practice that for everything he need to be right, and then he can be learned easily. So I'm giving him a standardized method that to my son, that if you want to learn anything, please make a habit of the writing. Then his standardized method will become for him, and the procedure for the efficient handling changes. So if from day one to maybe the till the time he's completing studies, he has this habit, he will be using this and be doing the things very efficiently. In the next slide, we are going to be discuss that how these things has been interrelated. So as in the previous 3 slides which we discussed, basically the crunch is here, that here we have the incident management. I again put up the sorry, let me take the pointer option of the pen. So we talk about the incident management here. So whenever any end user, again end user is the one who is actually using that services. So like if I take example of the Amazon, if I'm using the Amazon app, I'm the end user for that one. And if I raise any incident in the backend, they have the configuration item, this thing. So either incident as a change or a problem, is the base for them is the CI, this thing I'm saying again. Okay, so from the incident, a change can be raised. Like take a normal example that if I have a P1, my bike is break down on the mid of the way, and I have to fix it before I move out, go to the office. So I go to the mechanic immediately and says, "Do it and fix it." He said that I need to be change a gearbox, change it. So it is better for a change management. But if I routine I'm daily I'm facing this issue, then I want to identify the root cause. Then I if like 3 day 4 day I'm facing the same issue, so when I go to the mechanic next time, I say that, "Boss, there is some problem in my bike." He says, "Your bike is older than the 10 years now. The gearbox, the chip in the gearbox or the wire in the gearbox has been broke down completely. That is, and whenever you go for 3 to 4 kilometers, is giving the unexpected sound." So he give me the root cause for the same, and for that I need to be raise a problem record, this thing. Or maybe he can say that in these kind of bikes, after 5 years, the problem is coming for this unexpected sound. What you can do, you can put some kind of a silencer which can help you to reduce that sound. Either replace your bike or the gearbox, either use that workaround. So it means he is using this known error here. And from where he got the known error, he got the known error from the knowledge management. It means he has something in his mind which is using that part. In our IT industry as well, whenever any incident has been raised, it go to the service desk on the first point of time. Surveydus uses this knowledge article. If I say here that they uses the knowledge article here from here and provide the solution to the customer, that if you are like sometime what happened that I reach out, I call to my Surveydus that my Outlook is not working, or I'm getting some pop-up again and again. So they, what they do, they at their end they open the knowledge management and search for that particular knowledge article and give me a solution for the same. But if they're getting a call for these things for many customers, many end users, then they ask to the particular technical team and they open the problem record. After the problem record has been opened, so now the problem team say, "Okay, I have a solution for that one. It can be workaround, it can be permanent solution." So to implement, either to implement workaround or the solution, we need a change on the place, because I'm changing the state of a change, sorry, CI here. So there is a change and our change management comes to the picture. Now if my change has been failed or unsuccessful, then it may cause a incident again. So suppose by replacing a new gearbox in my bike, but it impacting the average of my bike now. It means the change which I did now to replace my gearbox, it giving me another incident now. So this is the way that IPC, incident, change and problem management work together. There are a lot of other processes or the practices which supporting these one, but the as per my experience, the industry work on these on these three major things. And on the backend, we have the knowledge, we have the CMDB, we have the asset management, everything in the backend who are supporting these particular things. So hope friends you like this session, you like this video, you understood the relationship of IPC, incident, problem and change. Please share your feedback into the comment section, and thank you so much for watching me, for watching my channel. Please subscribe to encourage me, and I'll come back with with some other with some other videos very soon. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.